Yeah, we did it. And hopefully it's broadcasting from my mic and not from the camera. One can hope. Got a tripod. A little bit broken, but good tripod. I cannot see chat unless I come over to chat, but I will. For now, we got a box of bike parts that I've been itching to add to this bike. For one, we got another mirror for the driving side. Part to the mirror. And for sake of camera, we'll go ahead and turn on all the bells and whistles. Don't know how well it's going to pick up on, but the little skulls actually light up. I think it's neat. Hello, hello, chatters. I can see you, but I cannot see what you've written yet. Give me just a moment. That's out of sign. There we go. Now everyone can see what I'm saying. We already have an adjustment here and here. One for a speaker that I'm currently using to weigh down the tripod, and then one for a flashlight that's inside. Give me a moment to add the mirror, and then I'll come check on chat. If I'm good, I can probably add this rubber stopper around the thingy. That way I save on my little, oh I can, that's pretty nifty. It ties the flashlight and the mirror together, so if I lose one, I lose the other, but let's be honest, if I'm losing pieces off the front of the bike, it's probably a bad sign. When you're installing one of these, a couple important facts. Always make sure that the tiny washer attached to it is in the proper space below the screw. That way you're not just biting into the rubber plastic attachment. Because if you bite into that, when it catches drag or starts to move, it's going to rip it apart. Whereas if you've got that rubber stopper in place, it, like I'm not making sure of because I'm talking and not checking my work, but if you've got it in place, it keeps it from coming loose. Also, it's always a good idea to check it. Just we live in a small town, but the sirens still go crazy. Almost like there's crime everywhere, y'all. It don't matter where you at. If people are there, crime will be there at some point. Why is it not getting tight enough? It should be getting a lot tighter than it is. This one's good. Oh, it's not enough rubber I got. I'll have to look in the box. This gives me a good time to check the chats. Just a moment to check through the box to find what bit of rubber I need. That's what I was needing, right there. Hello! And what up, Zuko? Oh, it's cool. And nothing much. I'm getting ready to ride down to where they're going to be doing the fall festival at. Don't know how long I'll hang out because well, as my bestest friend in the world put it, I'm a bit antisocial, but I'm trying to work on it. Oh, that's sweet, Hard Rock Ron. But be careful, because, all jokes aside, fascism's moving into America and it's up to us to fight it. But we can't, fight it. But remember, if you're not anti-fascist, what's that say about you? Be safe out there, friends. I'm going to keep working on the bike. of material in between it, this mirror will hold in place better and we can see better. Also, normally I'd be wearing my more anarchy-friendly jean jacket, which got a lot of compliments in town, but it's a little bit chilly out here for me, so I got the classic black hoodie. Remember, if you're going to go riding for safety or for fun, always make sure to wear proper reflective material. Also, for some reason, the Michaels was sold out of all other hoodies other than black and white, and white hoodies stain too easy with how many pets I got. Plus, especially with current political times being what they are, a fellow like me riding around in a white hoodie sends a bad message. Hey, there we go. Now that should, in theory, stay in place better. Rock solid. Like building a union upon your people rather than building a union upon your richest and elitist. Because remember, folks, people at the end of the day will always come together and work together. When you're focused on the money, when you're working on the hustle, getting rich, or trying to get ahead of everything else, you lose your way and you lose the people around you. I'm antisocial as hell. Most of you will know me from my YouTube videos where most of the time I don't even use a mic. That's intentional most of the time. Sometimes because my hair's being dyed and I don't want to dye my lovely headset. Sometimes because I just don't have anything poignant to say, and honestly, y'all, I mean, now that I'm looking at the algorithm and seeing that one or two of y'all are like kids, I'm assuming that y'all are putting the Minecraft video on and sneaking out like I did back in the day, but with Comedy Central or something playing. I don't know, kids. I don't, keep up with them. But in a world with Andrew Tates and all the bad influences out there telling kids to do terrible things, why not be a good influence, even as antisocial as I am? Now check this shot out. Look like to skill, right? There's a big purple bucket. We still got a bunch more stuff to add to the bike. But that mirror at least is more secure. Now we'll do a couple tests before we take it out for a ride just to make sure, because it's always good to check. What is this from? Whenever you find an extra piece, stop what you're doing, because there's no such thing as extra pieces. Just something that popped off somewhere. I like to keep a track of all my pieces, and there it is. There's where you popped off from, isn't it? Maybe? No? Not that? Okay. Well, I don't know where this came from, but I promise it's probably important and doesn't need to be left out. So for now, we'll stick it on one of our lovely connectors. We will let the rat hold on to it. That way it's secure within the securities. And oh, boo. That defeated its own purpose. I think we'll just put that back in the toolkit. This is why we don't lose things. Keep up with them in your toolkit. Now, the next part, the fun part for night riding that is essential because you always want to keep lights on your stuff when you're riding at night. The trick to this one, and what confused me, is why do they only give you a one? Like when you buy a set, it's like $9, but they give you a one of them. And that lights up one wheel, which is nice, but then which one do you choose? Personally, I'm going to pick the back wheel because I tend to stick to my side of the road and ideally on the sidewalk for safety's sake where available. So I need more to light up those behind me, letting them know behind me, hey, you're going to need to slow down or navigate, please. There's a guide. Always good to read the instructions. Install the lights and two. Oh, this is this the correct bicycle part? Huh. I do not have this missing part. Well, let's see what we can do without it. Because it does appear each piece secures to a tire individually. So, let's hook it up, shall we? But I'm looking forward to seeing the Fall Festival. I used to go a lot when I was super duper young, and I've heard that they've completely remodeled the park that the Fall Festival happens in. Which that'll be fun to see what they've done with it, because before it looked like sort of how I build things, where they had an idea and they put it in place, and they had an idea and they put it in place. So we had a basketball court, football field, sort of kind of, a baseball diamond, sort of kind of, and you know, it was a nice thought, but didn't really track well. Okay, let's do this. Perhaps they only gave me one because it was meant to only go on the front. But real talk, y'all. The good news about fascism is it always falls. I just wish it wasn't the end stage of capitalism every time. Because inevitably, the people that you're supposed to get free labor out of, cheap labor out of, get tired of being free and/or cheap labor. And they will take that labor and walk. And if that was the end of the story, well, there'd be no job, you know? Capitalism works. Apple pie, Uncle Sam, we're the greatest. Unfortunately, when the workforce leaves and the boss is left to decide, do I work or do I, profit some other way, they'll inevitably take the ways. Thankfully, there's almost always a healthy and safe workaround. In our case, we have the tried and true and trusted bit of string. I agree, man. Rock and roll. Now, as we are missing our little rubber strap that it was sent with, we're going to substitute a bit of string for it. The thing for bit of string is we're going to need to go ahead and double up what little bit of plastic or rubber would have done. That way it's secure. Especially considering it's about to go, zoom, 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 zoom. Not about being the greatest, it's about how many times you try. Oh, yeah, it's kind of one would say, get knocked down, you get up again. And I'll never keep you down. That's the last one of those jokes I'll make, I promise. Now this feels like being a kid again, putting a baseball card in space, because I'm literally just, okay, all it needs to do is avoid that. If not, I might be, giving up this little $9 piece of accessory. That's the other downside to biking. You just kind of got to accept in the game. If you don't lose skin or bone or end up in a, sitting around for a few weeks, you won. Take the win. So the goal is to not lose any items now. Especially not in this economy. Especially not in this economy. The other thing about building the bike up the way I have, one of my concerns with it, because it is super light and super awesome for riding. But my biggest concern is inevitably how I might end up weighing it down just by all the stuff I have. Now, it should be said, mostly because I was once a goth, now I'm more of a punk rock kind of guy. I don't really do the skeletons year round. Cat might stick around and move around on the bike, but we do have other plans. We got Funko Pops and other things, various treasures from the road I've found. I wanted to do this, but I did not have the little bit to put Pennywise on there. Soon, perhaps. The other piece we have to add, a cell phone case. Now, sadly, while this is kind of, where the hell's it? I guess it's inside. While this is really cool in the sense that it'll allow me to track where I'm going and track my ride-alongs and all that, the downside to it is y'all inside of it are just going to be staring at the roof. Now, on particularly like cloudy days, something like that, why not? It'll be fun. We'll make a whole bunch of shorts out of it and throw some inspirational music or something on it, you know? But for, ooh, it's got a bright holographic bag too. It's probably going to be one of those look at the instructions for it things. But either way, I plan on making it something entertaining for all of us. If nothing else, it'll help me track bike routes better. It's a bag. It's a bag that holds a phone, y'all. Although I do love the almost comic look. Okay. All fun aside, thank you for using landing call, warranty, product specification, packaging list, bike frame bag, got it, quick release fixing plan. Got it. Anti-slip silicone, got one extra from the mirror. Waterproof cover, I'm guessing that's what the adorable bright hairnet is. Got it. User manual. Cat gag gold now. Law 3, and kill your darlings. Now. Okay, this tells me what we got and how it functions. Quick release fixing those in the back. We're going to install this probably right here. It kind of looks like it wants it to be right here, but I'm kind of concerned with it throwing muck up on it because, side note, I'm not going to show you all the side of the building to see the number, but we're living out here in the country, so sometimes I jump off the road if a big rig's coming through and don't, want to share. If the choice is death or in the ditch, most of the time I choose the ditch. So I'm thinking I'm going to move it up here, and then we just got to be super careful not to go over the handlebars, because at this point, if we put it up here, the cell phone might get damaged in the fall. I guess one other side, if we, I suppose if we moved the cat, we could put it right on top here, make it almost like one of those e-bikes. I don't know if I trust its security so much, because I'd hate to leave things packed in here for safety's sake, and then someone just have to and run with it, I hate that I have to think that way. Why can't people just be nice to each other? Ooh, it has a cell phone, and it's got a place for all your valuables in it, y'all. That's pretty nice. That's handy. Okay, I think we're going to have to lose the cat for a minute and probably relocate her to someplace else. So, all these tools and not a friggin' knife. Scissors it is. Also, just because I had a bit planned, and I did not yet do that bit. Oh, boo. But we tried. I got rubber ducks for no apparent reason. I find them on the side of the road a lot. I clean them up, I bring them and add them to my toolkit. I got a bunch of them. Eventually I might end up giving them away like I do the toy skulls and the like. Alright, joking aside, ha-has and laughs and gaffs aside. See if we can do this without damaging this really adorable prop. Because even though it's just a prop, I like my props. And I like to keep them around. At least long enough for me to enjoy them. Always make sure to dispose of your stuff responsibly. While it looks like I'm just throwing everything around all willy-nilly, I would like to reiterate, I got a large bucket that I'm throwing things into. Be responsible, please. I want to be proud of all y'all. And that is sadly, I'm not going to throw them because they're pretty old. Da-da-da. But now we've got some space opened up. So let's see if we can install our brand new bike piece. What all do I have in this bag right quick? Yes, the ADHD flowers, they flow through me. Before I get rid of this bag, because I had bits installed for it for later. Either way, let's toss it in there so nothing tries to get in. Because you don't want to find out you got passengers while mid-ride. This is the cool stuff from the pack. Yes, nice shiny packaging. They weren't kidding, the silicone's fitted for the piece. That's pretty nice. Alright. Oh, guide. How do I do? Oh, shite. Plastic in the box. Self-doubt in the box. Oh, I get it. You let it crimp on and then it basically half moons down holding on with this bolt. I think. Even though I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Let's not be an idiot, even though I feel like I'm correct. We've got the manual, and if I did not have the manual, we have a search engine available. Check your work and make sure you're using a search engine that will actually correct you. Yes, men, much like yes, search engines are pointless. Okay, step 4. We're all the way at step 4, just out of the pocket. Put the anti-slip silicone under the fixing clamp. That's that and this. Rotate the quick release fixing clamp nut counterclockwise. After rotating to the end, take out the threaded strap 1. After threading through the tube, insert a thread strap into the bottom of and tighten. After threading through the tube, insert threading strap 1 into the bottom of the nut. Tighten it clockwise to complete the fixing clamp installation. Align the frame bag fixing base with quick release fixing clamp. Twist it 90% to complete the installation as shown in the figure. Neat. Loosen the fixing clamp nut for a position adjustment back and forth along the tube. And then you slap your phone in the bag and it's showing you how to do various things with it. And then it says it in other languages. Because inclusion is important, folks. But that much of it was English. And if I were on the trail, that much of it would be staying for me personally. Now, this is a fairly simple and straightforward system, but you just... I guess I should get close. Alright. You just basically loosen that clamp up. Once it's good and loose up on there, you need to be able to fit this in here. Now ideally without taking it all the way off. Go ahead and get a little safety set on. Now fold it, or do as best you can to fold it over itself, and slip it in. Get your jokes out now. I know they're there. I see 3 people in chat. I'm guessing at least one of you is immature. Now, not a dig, just an observation. That you got it on there real good. The goal is to basically make sure your device doesn't slide off while you're riding. Now, I was going to put it here, but I think we're going to end up putting it up here. This part, we very carefully, and that's why I'm going to do it over here, but we very carefully take this bolt off, put this on, and then tighten the bolt back on. Ideally, without losing this, which as it is a rubber piece, is very tense. Give me just a second. Okay. Don't know how much that was on camera. I just like, you know, not slap the camera around my hair and all that. Starting to get a little warm out. Not too bad, but not quite warm enough either. Okay, let's see if I can do this without losing the washer. Now we got a first freeze isn't something. I guess the big brother on the camera overheard me and decided to inform me the first frost isn't going to be here yet. And if you have gardens and the like, make sure to start bringing your plants in and out. Even if the first frost isn't planned, if you have anything that's tender to the cold, it doesn't come all the way off after all. If you have something that's tender to the cold, it would be good to bring it on in right now just as a safety set. Now, make sure you got it where you want it, because once you put it on, it's going to be a bitch and a half to get off. Most things you put on a bike are kind of that way, similar to cars for some reason. Now, bike industry ain't quite as bad as the vehicle industry is for making one-way things, which is kind of good, because that would be frustrating. This is like the last bastion to escape a lot of the corporate greed. Though it is still there, don't be fooled. Like I said, my antisocial sage ass is going to meet up with people and hopefully make some real IRL world friends. Cannot promise I will achieve that goal, but damn it, we're going to try, right? And if I get my legs strong enough to start making it out to the libraries, D&D and such, we'll go there too. Because in hard times, community is key. Actually, I agreed to this one. Okay, why is this one latching on one side? Is it supposed to latch on just one side? Okay, I'm the dummy here. Okay, we're good. We just gotta hold it in place. Trust the process. Like the first time I worked with alcohol markers. Trust the process. But it's starting to run. Trust the process and use slightly less on the next go round. Okay, oh, okay, that was, I trusted the process and the process failed me. Now what? We go back and we retry and we figure out what we did wrong. Okay. And that's what I'm guessing happened, is it didn't catch. That's what I did wrong. See? It's always important to check yourself before the metaphorical wrecking of oneself. Folks driving by. Like I said, y'all, I tried to do the whole ethical streaming thing, so it's not like y'all are going to see a lot of what I do just because if it's a good deed, it is its own reward. I don't need to videotape that. If it's charity work, that's down. But y'all know what I'm trying to get at, right? I don't like a lot of the streamers out there who do charity work, but that charity work relies on them basically exploiting people for clicks and views and getting like oh, I help this homeless individual, but I want them to help me out with these 7 or 8 projects and, say how thankful they are for the. No, fuck that. If I'm there to help, I'm there to help. And if I can help, I will help. Because we've all there we go. We've all been at rough places and in hard times. And it's important. What up? It's important to always work together where we can. Heck, I wouldn't have this bicycle if it weren't for a really awesome and concerned coworker who just gifted it to me because they weren't using it. I had to put air in the tires and I had to check it to make sure everything was set. It fucked me once because, I didn't know how to adjust and fix the seat. That's also in the box. That's the very next thing we're fixing. First, we check our work. It's been installed, good and solid. We're gonna zip up the box. And this will also make it for some of my, not so good, still learning, be patient with me shorts, that we can basically, enjoy ourselves on them. And, oh, it worked. Well, that was nice. Okay. Hindsight, if you wonder why, again, I'm on country roads. There's a good chance that this thing will get knocked around. I want to make sure it's not going to fall off. So let's check to see if that was me or design error, because it don't look like it broke, but it certainly didn't, that wasn't going to survive a fall or a jump. Better! Okay, yeah. I feel like that'll probably survive some fun stuff. Like I said, y'all, test it often, test it readily, because when you're out there, you don't want to be testing this. You want to test this where you can pick it up and, well, damn. You might be disappointed, but nothing's broken, and that's the goal. Go ahead and put the add-ons with it back in it. Like I said, y'all, I'd much rather be wholesome than always political, but nothing aggravates me more than someone saying, oh, I'm not political. If you're not a child, you're political in some way. Children aren't political only because they have no stake in the game. They can't do anything about it. And anytime they try, people get pissy with them. Look at Greta Thunberg. She's not even a child anymore. But it's like, you know what I mean? So outside of them, everyone else, y'all, we're all political in different ways. I realize here in America we only have 2 flavors, and that's our fault, but we're all political in our own ways. If you can't tell, I'm a bit of an anarchist. I believe there should be no unjust hierarchies, and that everyone should just, make it. Food, shelter, these things should be provided, especially if you're a government and a society that rely on your people as labor force. If your people is your labor force, take care of your labor force. It's why I frequently concern myself with how these people treat their pets and the people around them and their children, because the way you're willing to treat immigrants and other people in your land is how you're willing to treat those you see as lesser than you. You know what I mean? You gotta work within and work with systems and work with people. You gotta meet people where they're at, but you also gotta always go with the fact nobody's better than anybody else. We're all just evolutionarily apes that put on pants one day. And that's why, like I said, yeah, sometimes we get spicy in comments. Sometimes I get mean. But at the end of the day, y'all, we're all people. And we can all improve and do better. And it's important that we do that wherever we can. So, let's get this seat on so I don't fuck myself when I ride this thing, huh? Because, yeah, I saw this in the store and I was just, that's what I need. That's what I want. That's going to make it to where I can ride more than once every 4 days. Alright, let's get it done. This one I don't need a guide for because it is quite simple. Slide it over, set it up, then you got a pull tab. Anyone that's ever done knot work can figure this one out. I believe in you, chat. I believe in anyone that's got capable of putting this into YouTube can install one of these seats. It was like $10 at Wally World. Not sponsored in any way. Kind of hate that I had to shop there, but hell, they're effective. You know what I mean. No ethical consumption under capitalism, right, folks? So, that one's simple to install. Just slide it over, make sure it fits everywhere you can fit it at, make sure it's good and tight, and ideally get this over top of it and around the corner, because if you keep it over top, it's going to hit you in a very unpleasant spot. If I had someone to edit this video, I would say cue an anatomy photo right there. But for that, it's simple. You just pull the string over the seat, and then you tighten up on the tightener bit here. There's a fancy name for it, I'm positive, but just tighten up on a little button. Make sure that little button don't end up inside your little button. Because when you ride a beat, don't wanna get caught by the back. Now, unless you do, and if you do, I'm sure they sell proper attachments for that, but that's not what this string's about. So, we got it on. We went ahead and tightened it down underneath on one of the safety straps to the other piece, which I would show you, but that required, you know, a little bit of hostile negotiation before the stream started to get it in place. And I don't think I could get it off easily or effectively. So, we just went ahead and tied off to it since it's good and secure now. There's too much of a chance I'd hit something, so let's just end it in place. Now, the main thing you want to make sure when you're doing anything for a project that you're riding on, going to be on the road with, or any kind of trail, is to make sure you either cut these snags off or tie them off or weigh them down in some way. Mostly because you don't want it to be dangerous for you or anyone else. Ideally, remember, we always give people the benefit of the doubt because we're all from different areas. We're all from different paths. And everyone can learn and do better. All it takes is one step. I would like to ideally be that first step, but trust me folks, I'm not always the right ideal. If you're over the age of 18, I would suggest Cirrus. They're an online, he's an online content creator, a decent fellow, and while we might disagree on some things, we do agree on the fundamentals of human rights. No one's free till we're all free. No one makes it till we all make it, right? And under that, that's why I can recommend Cirrus if you're wanting somebody who'll like sit with you side to side on that kind of thing. I'm a little bit more aggressive on things, but it's because, I don't know, I'm more of an asshole. I don't know. I try to make friends everywhere, and I have had friends on both sides. But nowadays, most of my friends on the right side don't really talk about the right all that much. Almost like, you know, no matter how bad the left got, it, as senile as Genocide Joe was, minus the backing Israel through a genocide, I'd rather have that senile old man than Mr. Department of War. The latest Treasury coin come out to commemorate Cash Patel was basically a hyped up gas station coin. Check it out on the... It's Trey Crowder's podcast. Check it out there. I ain't gonna steal none of their fire, and I can't add anything that they didn't already say. Shout out other creators till you got them. The other thing we got, but this one we ordered from a small business on Amazon, small business on Amazon. Again, I ain't gonna judge. I ain't sold anything really yet outside of to a person. But on the other side of that, all I do is use Ziploc baggies to put my stuff in. That way, if you buy an art piece from me, it ain't gonna have like animal bits on it from my animals sitting there in my art area and whatnot. I can't promise it won't have cat hair, dog hair, all that, because, you know, not hypoallergenic till I can get a spot all its own. But, you know, most of my art I sell hand to hand. Which is why I'm hoping to eventually get packaging set up so I can start selling it at the U Harley covered bridge stuff and whatnot. This is just a basic holographic disc to go with my lovely hoodie, which y'all probably saw in that little video. Give me a minute to turn around and say, whoop, whoop, there we go. Self-promoting, self-show. I don't think Disney can come after me too bad. After all, they left the money on the table with the Owl House, and I'm not selling them. That one's just mine. Because trust me, folks, if you want a hoodie or a jacket as cool as mine, like people keep telling me they like my stuff, make one. It's easy, y'all. I'm nothing special. Trust me. I slacked off in class. I mostly read what I was interested in, history, uh, like fancy places that now I've accepted I'll probably never get to see unless I can get to them on a bike and by foot. But it's like, improve yourself where you can, because no one's going to do it for you. And anyone that says they will is either delusional or lying to you. The only person that can improve you is you. They can give you guides, they can show you the path, but it's up to you to walk it. And some paths ain't worth walking. See how easily I plugged that? Almost like I've done this before. I really haven't. This is a walking stick I've been working on for a while. Made out of teak wood given to me from a friend that had it for a bed set that he's just never going to use again. So I repurposed it. I want to say this was one of the railings that went up above it, but I went ahead and I took the power sander. I'll be muting the screen soon, so anything you want to say in chat after it gets muted, I know I'm muted. That's for your ears as well as mine. I'm going to put the other headphone in too. But I went ahead and I put some work on it with the Dremel. Oh, that light's going to do this a lot of favors. And then I took some old copper from my friend who makes Christmas ornaments that he didn't need anymore. And yes, technically I think it's conductive more to electricity now. I'm not going to try it. It's mostly to make the stick prettier. And then from some old medical waste, yes, it's all labeled as medical waste, I got the stopper from basically one of those from when you hurt your leg or whatever. It was broken and couldn't be used, so I harvested a stopper. Everything I make, if I can help it, is upcycled material, because it's up to you and me, friends. The world's been trashed, and I'm not going to be here forever, not being dark or anything else or dramatic. I'm just saying. I ain't going to be here forever. You ain't going to be here forever. Like a bunch of people have said on the news lately, we all die. But what we leave behind for the folks behind us, that's what matters. So in that spirit, I'm trying to get more in touch with helping and, fixing stuff. So, really should have thought ahead and brought a chair down to this set. But we're going to take us a little bit of cordage, a J-hook, and we're going to make us something to make it a bit easier to get litter, as well as a bit easier to get litter picked up and such. It does make it a handy catch thing, I don't know how well you can see that. But to do this trick, it's quite simple. First, I've already dremeled it out. I'm about to do a little test run to see if it'll work, because of course I've never done this one yet. Give yourself enough cordage to work with. Get you a little twinge in it there. And here's the important part. You cut a guide hole. The guide hole is important, because otherwise what's going to happen with teak or any other wood is it's going to pop and you're going to lose a lot of work. Unless you're making a piece specifically for like a cosplay outfit. If that's the case, put some resin in that bad boy, throw a few lights in it, and you've got a busted wizard staff. Nothing is garbage if you can be creative enough. Okay, now we're going to try this. I might have to grab the tiny Dremel from behind me, and if that happens, I'll mute everything. But I might not have to. I just don't know. Like I said, the goal when it comes to woodworking is not to stress your wood too much. And if it's going in, which it doesn't feel like it is yet. Okay, I'm getting somewhere with it. We're just going to go ahead and sling that over this so it stops feeding it. Oops. And this can be used for several things. Yes, for self-defense as well. Be creative. I'm sure I never have to get too detailed about people being able to hurt each other. We're real good at that. But it can also be used for picking up litter and refuse. Say you drop something and it starts to get away, hook comes in handy for that. If you're walking on a trail and you need a lantern, but you don't want to use your flashlight on your phone for whatever reason, and you happen to have a little camping light, you can hang it from that. The hook itself is graded for about around, I want to say it was 90 pounds, so I wouldn't go like trying to use it to rescue a person. But again, if you drop something or you need to get a good lean on something, it's a good hook. And making sure to work that string into it, or juke cord. When I say juke cord, that's what I mean. If I can get it at the Dollar General, you can probably get it anywhere. But it's basically just a fine fibrous cord. If you can find it, hemp cord's the best, but you know, it's gotten outrageously expensive. I can't imagine why. But the goal when you put it in is basically to make sure that it's good and tight. With it being as well as it is, I did not happen to have to need my backup friend. The single thing that dug us out the Stone Age, not fire, not, oh crap. I done built it up and did not have it with me. Maybe it's in my pocket. Change. Oh, goody. It's glue. I had glue. I had E7000 glue. It would have been real cool if I hadn't messed it up. But now with my hook, I can basically use this to pick up litter in the light. And like I said, with the extra cord, I'm just going to put it over it and make a little bit of a handle. That's why I cut those grooves in. And this just gives the wrist and the hand a bit more leverage when working. Now, there are two ways you can do this. This is one way that I'm doing it, where you wrap it and you just go with the grooves. Another fun way would be to take it and basically, now that I got it on there good and tight, take it, put a loop in it, toss it over, tighten your loop down. As long as it's a good cordage, this makes it super tight, and it also basically gives the wood just a little bit more strength to it as you work on it. Also, as a bonus feature for the artists in you, just remember to twist it. Gotta remember to twist it, otherwise it ain't gonna show up. But when you twist it, it'll basically make a knot that knots around it. Then you organize your knot, and you can make, if you practice this before you film it, it does a lot better. But you can basically make stairs, or whatever you want out of it, as long as there's a straight line to it. But the more you add to it, the stronger it gets, the better it gets. You just want to use something like a good hempy juke or something that's earthy for this bit, because while plastics and all that are good, when you bind them against themselves, they snap and break a lot. For example, if I was using a polyester cord or an upcycled, recycled cord, I'm working on that before I make the video out of it, made out of something I've heard called plong. But for that, if I was doing that, what I would basically do, instead of doing the knot work in it, I would just wrap it. But every so often as I wrap down, I would double back and wrap up in a different shape while taking a bit and stringing it through each shape. This gives it a little bit of a bubble for you to grab onto, a little bit more of a texture for you to hold on to, and it'll make it to where, you know, you can still use the upcycled materials, because we don't discriminate here on upcycled materials. It's everyone's job where we can. We all failed Captain Planet if you're older than 18, 19, I don't know anymore. I gave up keeping track of time. I'm doing my best, y'all, but I'm getting older. Basically, you just want to get it on there in such a way that it locks in place and you can start binding it down real good. So at the end of the day, the project, if you're making it for you, is for you. I'm going to basically imbue this with a little bit more copper action here in a little while. Also, probably a bit of bead work. Main goal at the moment is just, make it prettier and effective. And then, as soon as I stop seeing a car pass every 5 minutes or 5 seconds, trying to get out there and wade out onto the road. It's not that I think anyone out there would run me down for fun. I joke about it a lot, but I don't think that would be the case. I do think they would be distracted, and maybe if it were a school day, being that there's literally on the other side of the bridge an elementary school that I never went to and a middle school that I went to because the elementary school wasn't built yet. So, on school days, I could probably get away with it, maybe riding through there on a lunch hour because, with the blinking lights, they have to legally go 30 miles an hour. Will they? Probably, because you don't want to get that big a ticket, and, cops do sit there since the police station is right over on the other side and you hardly. But, just facts being facts, I'm not about to go out there and obstruct traffic with my bicycle for looks and clicks and funsies, You got to work within the system you're in, not within the one you want. So, I'll time it a little bit more, see what it sees, and probably do the stream from the park once I can get there. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit and tie it off on the metal bit since I'm going to disguise it with some clever copper wiring. It's also why I cheated a little bit when I cut this and put a groove in the handle here. That way when I go to tie things off, I can work it in. An old deckhand, well, I guess he'd take offense to being called old. A deckhand that I worked with who was first made of the Gregory David, I want to say. Yeah, it was the Gregory David, I want to say. But he used to say, it's the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. As long as you follow the 5 P's, you'll be alright. And you know what, Todd? I don't know if you watch my stream. I don't think I'm particularly your flavor. I don't know the sports at all, and I'm not exactly manly man. But if you happen to be out there and if you happen to catch this stream, thanks for helping me out. Thanks for teaching me that lesson. Because while not much else has stuck with me there, that did. The 5 P's have stuck with me, and I have confused people for so long with that. And then when I explain it, it tends to help out and work out. Now, with that worked in properly, we can hopefully, and I'm not going to show my ass here, use it to lift things of, varying degrees. And ideally, it'll be secure. In the case of the bag, see if I can do this in one shot on a live, because it did warp the hook slightly. Gonna have to watch what I use the hook on. But for basic litter, bags and the like, or for flags and stuff like that, it'll work. If I want to mount lights on the bike, I can likely use the walking stick, or if I want to hang a small LED lantern, the likes of which you'll find anywhere else. But what I was holding with that hook, my Dremel kit, because I did not know if I would need it. Plastic in the box now. Don't want to just toss my metal like I was earlier. Aha! The thing that has helped man grow and helped all of our society grow from the ages. More than brass, more than gunpowder, more than bones. Glue. And it's B7000. This is a good all-around glue if you're working with wood to metal to whatever like I do, or if you're working with ceramics. Your kids break a cup or something, maybe put a different coating than this on it because it is toxic. But if you're using something that you like outside of it, tea glass sort of thing, E7000 glue, it's a little on the pricey side, but it's better than super glue. Yeah, I can throw that. Be careful with your stuff, Either way. Then I've got donations for the library and a chess set that will eventually be packed into something smaller once that breaks. Then on this side, I've got my notebook with my daily planning in it. Most expensive notebook I got, because normally I get them on sale, but it was, y'all look at it. It's a pretty notebook. I like my pretty notebook. I couldn't say no, and it was just a $5 sale at the time. It was easy money. Then up here, because my helmet makes it to where I can't wear the glasses on the road, I have that. Good news is it's got a really neat Judge Dredd style flip thing on it that basically, and I'll have to remember to clean that before I ride. As long as I got it on, I should be alright. Something that Miss Cat gave me that I still haven't made use of, but somebody will hopefully, eventually. I keep telling myself I'm going to give that to the library for the kids there, but I keep forgetting it. It's in the front pocket. Front pocket never exists when I need it to. Alright. But yeah, that one little hook and that one little teak pole, without much adjusting to it, lifted this entire bag. Now again, would it help a person? Probably not. But will it be enough to pick up litter or move something necessary? Yeah. And other than I want to say $1.50, $3 for 4 or 5, whatever it was, breaking down it was about 25 cents per L hook. 25-cent L hook from Ollie's. And now I too can help clean up and make a small difference as well. Ooh, another great thing this is good for is since Joro spiders are here to stay, when you're walking, you look less like an asshole than when you're trying to practice your martial arts moves. And you can take the webs down pretty quick and easy with it. Like I said, it's all about upcycling and doing what you can with what you got. Also not breaking things ideally. Well, that's all my toys for the bike at the moment, y'all. I'm sorry to say. And everyone still appears to be in a hurry at the moment. I will check traffic and check on the U-Harley website to see when they're expecting the traffic to break up a little bit or slow down, and then we'll head on down towards the park. As a friend was supposed to come hang out and help me do filming and all that, so I wouldn't look so weird and out of place. But forget-me-not must have forgotten me. Wink, wink, ha ha, pun on name. Wicked burn, dude. But, I get it. Family affairs stuff, call. I get it. So I got the tripod, and hopefully if people want to hang out and talk, they'll hang out and talk. If they want to do something else, we got chessboard. If I can get enough dice to be able to do it, we'll play some knuckle bones like in Cult of the Lamb. We'll do something, Either way, it's going to be fun. It's a free festival, and I'm just genuinely curious, It'll be a nice chance to see what's going on in town. And of course, remember, folks, I feel like it's kind of important to say to some of my fellow Cartersvillians out there, less to Gen Z and whatnot, but, it's a good message for everyone to hear. If you have drank or imbibed in other things, I'm not judging you, but I'm saying a bicycle is also a vehicle in that sense. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card, folks. Drink responsibly is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying there. Just friendly reminder, holidays are coming up. Everyone wants to get home. Drink responsibly, friends. Alright, we're going to pack that in for now. We'll probably move it to the porch for safety's sake. I'm going to probably give y'all a nice close-up of what we've done with the bike. And don't judge my cardboard. It's not going to be here to stay. We're just making a pathway to basically build a... One second, I'll explain it as we go. But we're basically building an enclave for the bicycle. One second. Okay, there we go. That's my little speaker that was weighing down the tripod. But, like I said, don't judge my cardboard. It's only here for a bit. We're making a bit of a parking spot for the place. But we got our shiny mirrors installed. Nice and tight. That we might have to move or readjust. That's for the flashlight. And it's just an adorable little flashlight, y'all. But it'll do the job. I mean, most of the time when it comes to you, when it comes to lights on your bike, it's not about you. It's about making sure other people can see you. Which is why we installed what we did. We got our basic bike lock. Then we got, 1 second, flip it around because YouTube don't like me getting all jumpy with y'all. Let's go ahead and turn off our lights mechanism here. Yes. Hit the button. Off. Oh, nope, that was on. 1 second. Because you can actually see them if you get close to them. Okay, that should be off. If they come on in 5 minutes, I hit the wrong one. Then you got the rat. I really got the zip ties on to secure the scorpion. I like the little goat. I'm going to basically, hopefully, be able to install a camera in the goat to watch my back. Got my air pump as a backup. I like my little queen or princess skull here, and that's why I've really got it zip tied in along the jawbones, the side and the back. It is just plaster, but I like it. Some reflective whatevers, and then I got one tail light here and another tail light down here that I figured got covered up by the rat and the likes. Then there's a good look. Those will basically light up as we ride and should be really pretty. If we hang out after dark, which I doubt it, I'll always make sure to pick up after yourself. If we hang out after dark, which I doubt, just because it's not exactly safe to ride that route after dark, I'll set it up and ride in the parking lot. More than likely, I'll probably just wait until Dollar General closes and then walk over there, set up the tripod, and like do a few donuts or whatever in their parking lot so you can see what they look like when they spin. Or who knows, I might take a ride out onto the road and, you know, they get ripped out of the bike and alas, they're lost to the road. Teardrop rip. Because again, y'all, much as I love my accessories and all that, and I will say, get your fun little accessories for the thing, anything that gets you out there doing it, you kind of gotta be ready to lose whatever you get on it, just because the road, she be mean. I'm going to try not to be obstinate about having this speaker. It's mostly because there are so many obstinate kids with their speakers. And, I mean, my headphones eventually die, you know? And I promise to be responsible. I was sitting here going, okay, System of a Down? Or should I go with some Weird Al? Are we going to go heavy or are we going to go accordion? But I like it. I think I set it up right. Either way, I don't know why I did that. I'm about to go back inside till the traffic clears up a bit. Unless I get lucky. Nope, unfortunately I did not get lucky. Sorry y'all, that was probably boring dead air content. I was just sitting here. Car, 1, 2, 3. Car, 1, 2, 3. Car, 1. Nope. Not free to ride yet. Like I said, you got to make sure to put your own health at hands, too. But alright, y'all. That means I'm probably going to do another hour-long stream. Maybe Soul Calibur. And then we're going to come out and try to make another go of it. We'll see you on the other side of YouTube in the video game world. Alright, y'all. We'll talk to you later. And hopefully we'll see some of you IRL. If you live in Harley and you want to come hang out or talk at the park, that's where we're going to go as soon as traffic clears up a bit. For now, we're just waiting, because I ain't sharing the road with no U-Haul right now. I do not have the adjustment for the bike that'll make it to where I can actually, got to adjust the lens back closed, but I ain't got the adjustment for the bike that'll make it to where I can actually go and keep up with some of the vehicles. I'm debating it. The problem is they run from $40,000 to $4,000, and I want to get the correct one, and ideally not the $4,000 one, if you feel me, eh? But alright, y'all. I'll see you on the other side, in the video game side, probably Soul Calibur, and then we'll come out and ride as soon as traffic dies down a bit. I appreciate y'all coming out. Hey, it was about an hour. We're getting pretty good with the natural cuts, huh? And like I said, if I can't get actual filming done, I will do a few pictures, but y'all know the way I roll with this. I want to respect the people, and I don't want to just get like people's picture without their permission and such. Technically, in Georgia, it's a right to film state, so you legally can. Just because you legally can doesn't mean you should. Don't be a dick about things, you know? A lot of our laws are only now starting to adjust to like streamers and jackasses like that. And yeah, I say streamers and jackasses like that because some people do take a lot of advantage of folks with their content. Don't be one of them. I'm going to do my best not to be one of them. I appreciate y'all. Endure and survive all the sign off things. See you here in a little bit. And I appreciate y'all. Much love. Bye, y'all.